Welcome back to News Geelong as we turn to the Flying Hawk Nathan Curry and the world of Geelong sport.
Cheers, Graham. Well, school footy is on again, and we're down here at Elderslie Reserve, Newtown, for the ACC clash between St Joey's and St Bernard's. I caught up with Joey's coach Paul Clossy after his side's loss. Well, first of all, what were your thoughts on today's match?
Look, I thought it was a fantastic match. We're probably in a situation down in Geelong where we don't get our best team every week. We have a lot of Geelong Falcons boys who we get for Herald Shield games. So the ACC games that aren't Herald Shield games, we don't get access to those kids. So we probably would have had 7 or 8 changes from last week's team into this week. So the guys we brought in just did really well. So to fight that game out, St Bernard's are a great school, really good footy school. They'll be one of the sides to beat this year. So to only go down by a couple of goals against them, we're pretty proud of the boys today.
So will you be using these matches to prepare for the Shield matches?
Yeah, a little bit, because I suppose the situation we're in, a lot of other schools get to play in the ACC at every year level. We only play at seniors. This year we've got a Year 10 side in, so it's really hard coming into the seniors to really know heaps about the kids. So sometimes the first time I've really seen them play is in an actual game. We might have one practice game, but quite often you don't get to see them a lot. So giving those young fellas a lot of game time in a really hard-fought game like today sort of shows me a lot about them. So it means that a lot of them have put their hands up to take a permanent place in the side, so yeah, we are using it for that as well. But in the same time, we want to win the ACC competition as well.
So who do you play next, and will you try any different game plans? Or
we've got a Herald Shield game next week, so it's round 3. We've got some beads, we play them away, so we'll have access to all the Geelong Falcons boys, and that'll be for the first time this year. We'll have access to them all, so we'll probably have anything up to sort of 7 or 8 changes from today's side. So we'll keep obviously the guys that have performed really well will continue to play in the side, and we'll bring those 7 blokes will come straight in. So we'd expect the side to be a lot stronger, and not underrating any other opposition. Obviously we go out really just to play our game plan and to make sure that we get some really good hard contests around the ground. One-on-one, we're a really tall side when we've got all our boys in, so we've got 3 really good forwards, so we hopefully can isolate them and kick enough goals to win.
Moving into senior AFL, News Geelong caught up with Geelong Cats coach Mark Bomber Thompson ahead of his team's match with Carlton on Monday. He was first asked if his team would have to prepare this week differently because the match was on a Monday.
No, not really. We just go through the same process. It's just had a few Monday games, Sunday games, so it means our sort of weekend's a bit wrecked. We train Saturday, Sunday, and then play Monday, but that's okay. That's footy.
Was the Carlton match last year the turning point in the season?
It wasn't one of our best nights. Clearly wasn't our best night. So, look, it's what we did at the end of last year is pretty much forgotten now, and I know Carlton beat us, but that has no bearing on what's going to happen this week. And hopefully we can just put out what we put out last weekend again, because it was pretty impressive football.
Now, Bomber, what did you think of Carlton last week against Adelaide?
Oh, look, they were great. They move the ball quick, they're fast, especially in the first half. I just can't put a line through Adelaide. I don't know what's going on. So you don't sort of know how good Carlton were, but I've watched them play 3 or 4 times, and they're a pretty reasonable team. Also,
what do you think of Carlton's forward line setup?
Well, they've got a smaller setup, which will be a challenge, but it's rare to sort of come up against a team that sort of hasn't got too many tall guys in their forward line. So our guys that are going to have to really watch their dangerous small forwards.
And finally, Bomber, do you think you've improved on last season?
Well, I think we have to keep improving. The competition's so much better now. There's new standards being set by teams with their tackling and their defensive sort of structures. So we have to improve. I don't see any reason why we can't be a good side this year, next year, the year after. I don't see any reason to say that we have to go down and drop games and become a bad side. I'm really happy with Paul Chapman's. I'm really happy with some of the young players who aren't even getting a game in this side yet.
Moving into local footy, as always, News Geelong's Cal Lowther has all the action of the Geelong District Football League covered. He caught up with Thompson coach Luke McLean after his match with Werribee.
Luke, where do you think your team lost the game today?
I think probably just Werribee were probably a bit too good, actually, all over the park. They're a pretty mature-looking side, a pretty tall side, and used the footy a bit better than we did.
Were you disappointed with some of the turnovers that you made in the 3rd and 4th quarter?
Yeah, we chopped the footy up. We wanted to take some risks, so there was no point bombing it to the boundary line and die wondering, so we're going to take it on. And if that bet we turned it over, we turned it over. So that's what I wanted, and sometimes it came off and sometimes it didn't.
Are you sort of disappointed with the loss of Brett Anderton? Are you hoping to get him back into the side soon?
Come back. He just tweaked the groin on the weekend, and probably got another 6 to come back. So yeah, the side will change a bit.
Yeah, can you tell us about some of those players to come back? Because obviously there are a lot of older players on the list that haven't played, but they said they may retire, may not. So can you tell us about some of the players that might come back?
Jockey Menzies will come back for sure. He's been working. Brett Mullen, he played today in the twos. He's from Melbourne. He'll come into the side. Shawnee O'Neill, who was captain last year, still got to come back in. Sabali Armstrong, he's still a couple of weeks away. He'll come back in. So there's a few that are ready to sort of come back on that are senior players.
Thanks very much, Luke.
No worries.
Thank you.
Finally tonight, News Geelong promised to keep you updated on Braden the 10-pin bowler, and we've delivered. Braden represented Victoria in the President's Shield in Werribee last weekend, and we caught up with him to find out how he went. Well, we all know you're heading to Malaysia to represent Australia, but you also represented Victoria on the weekend. How did you get selected into the Victoria team?
Well, we had a roll-off down at Werribee to see who got in. Top 7 boys and top 7 girls got in to make the Victorian team.
Well, you played in the Presidential Shield on the weekend. What does that involve?
The 7 boys and 7 girls go against every other state. So boys play boys, girls play girls. You got to try and win as many points as you can out of the team game.
So how did yourself and the rest of the team go?
Yeah, I went pretty well. But it was more for the team. The team bonded really well together, so it was really good to see.
And what medals have you got around yourself there?
The boys in first place, and combined boys and girls, we won overall as well.
So was it close, or did you think you were home all day, or what was the competition like?
Well, we thought we might be losing it towards the start of the day, but we got ourselves back into it and won by 8-9 points. So it's pretty good.
Who played better, the boys or the girls?
The boys.
So I hear the Malaysia tour has been postponed till July instead of June. So what will you be doing between now and then?
Just normal training, have some coaching, and there's country champs coming up in June, so I'll do that before then and go away.
That's it for sport this week, Graham. It's back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Nathan. You have a safe weekend. And now the weather with Lani Salathiel.
Thanks, Graham. Well, it's looking like a rainy week ahead, and sorry about the long weekend, but we are in store for not that great a weather, Graham. Let's take a look at the forecast for tomorrow. Cloudy, areas of rain, easing to isolated showers during the morning, a top of 20. And Sunday, partly cloudy, isolated showers until late afternoon, a top of 19. For Monday next week, cloudy, areas of rain late in the evening with some light winds, a top of 21. For Tuesday, cloudy, scattered showers also, top of 19. And for Wednesday, cloudy, scattered showers, a top of 20. And today around Geelong and the Surf Coast, Aireys Inlet had a top of 20. And Avalon a top of 25. In Geelong a top of 25 also, with a few clouds around and a few spots of rain during midday today. So that's the forecast until next Wednesday, Graham.
Thank you, Lani. And Jared Whitten, if you're watching, we'd like to see the big gold ring and diamond on the right hand over on the left hand, but I'll leave that up to you, mate. Thank you for joining us here on News Geelong. Remember, grade 4 at Mandama Primary School. Take your time and smell the flowers. Until next Wednesday evening, from all the News Geelong crew, have a safe weekend and a very good night.